Your dad is in the basement with his toys again. First aid toys. The hobbies of children, the wallets of
Today
men.
on Fire Escape Toys, we are going to learn about why you should always read the item description. I thought, man, a Banjo Kazooie figure would look really cool standing next to my Earthworm Jim figure. You can imagine my surprise when a box appeared so large that I had to bust out the wide-angle lens. This thing's crazy. It went Banjo Kablooey. There's going to be a lot of those, so strap in. Obviously, on the front it says Banjo Kazooie. We've got a huge picture of Banjo on one side, and so I assume that means that we're going to see, yep, Kazooie on the other side. And on the back is a giant puzzle piece because, you know, that's all anybody remembers of Banjo Kazooie is lots and lots of puzzle pieces. Let's slide off this kind of cover-up box and see what we see. Whoa! It kind of shows us how it's all going to break down here. It looks like we get Banjo and Kazooie. He's got a little horn in his mouth, of course. Banjo comes with the banjo. And then it looks like we've got a backpack with a flap and an extra head, and then this is kind of neat. This will be fun to see how this works. My box is a little bit damaged here. The banjo is broken here. He's gargantuan. He's mammoth. Maybe he'll look a little bit smaller out of the box. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's open him up and find out. Our feller out of the box. So first things first, he's flocked. He's fuzzy. His whole bearskin's fuzzy. Of course, that makes me feel like he's incredibly fragile and like I'm gonna break him, and that every time I touch him, I'm rubbing off the fur. But I do see, now that I'm looking, there are joints. They're flocked too. But does that mean he has posability? Oh, that's very, very stiff. Do they move at all? Do his arms? Is that as far as they bend? Is this... That's the extent of his No. Okay. Well, that's terrifying. They move back. Can they spin around? Do I get more mobility? Okay. Well, I am pinching off kind of some of that fur exactly as I predicted. Moving the joints is going to kind of peel some of the little bits off, but I suppose that's all production stuff that they kind of intended kind of split off. It's weird that they didn't cut that better. I mean, he's beautiful to look at. Because of the fur covering, he doesn't feel particularly playable. If you're the kind of person who has like maybe still has like a physical video game collection, like on a shelf, and maybe you have a couple of, I don't know, Link statues, or that Big Daddy that came when you pre-ordered BioShock 20 years ago. Was it 20 years ago? This will look great on the shelf or in the storage unit next to your other video game characters. And and he's got enough fun action poses once you peel all his fur off. You know who we haven't looked at yet, though? Let's take a look at his partner, who comes in two pieces. But obviously that's because the way that I think most people are going to probably display them is with him popping out of the back. So here we see Kazooie displayed in backpack form, because this is, how you see it in the game. And it looks pretty great. You could really make this a very difficult shelf profile, right? Like, that looks really cool, but you are taking up a tremendous amount of width and depth on a display shelf. I was able to kind of, thin him down a little bit by having him wave one wing and put the other wing down. I mean, it's a large figure, so of course you're going to want room to display it. The plastic, where it's not furry, the plastic has a very thick, sturdy, like strong feel. Almost feels more like what you would expect in kind of like a statue or a statuette than what you would expect from an action figure. Okay. Okay. Um, I mean, I understand that a lot of times in the game, when you're playing from the bird's perspective, you're carrying the bear on your back. But as a figure, not great. I also kind of wish that there were like some smaller or folded wings. So yeah, I mean, not great. Obviously, they were like, well, we can't just give you half a bird in the box. You know, the sculpt is. It's a beautiful sculpt. She's not fuzzy. She's not furry like Banjo is, or he. The bird's not furry. Very cute, very expressive. Great paint job. It's a simple design. Simple is nice. Simple translates to clean. I have talked about that a lot. Clean looks are iconic. But you know, like I said, most of the time you're gonna put the bird in the backpack anyway. Okay, so speaking of the backpack, we got to figure this out. If you look here, like it has, first of all, it has a peg that plugs into Banjo's back down here, but also it has, you know, slots for these guys. I feel like in order for me to wrench these into the right spot, I've really got to have a lot of angle and muscle on it. Okay, so now how do I put this on him without popping these things off? And then once I get it on him and get them plugged back in, now I've got to plug this thing in, and moving it could, you know, look how easy that was to pop right back out. So you kind of think to yourself, well, the plastic's pretty stiff. Maybe I don't need these to stay clipped. And you don't really. You know, it can just clip on him. Like, you know, we can... Okay, I'm going to plug in the back peg first, I guess. Then we'll flip him over like this to try and get these plugged in. And I just really don't feel like I can get a lot of great purchase on them. But I'm trying, folks. I'm trying to get my life together, folks. Come on, you douchebags. We're all on the same team. Holy moly. This is a frustration music section. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Just fighting. Okay, I've barely got it attached, and now the peg has come loose. Okay, so we'll cement that back in. Okay, now the pegs and the backpack straps are secure. Now let's put the bird in. Let's put Kazooie in. Back in the backpack you go. And I've popped the backpack out of one of the holes. And the bird with the weight causes the backpack to fall backwards. So, you know, I don't know. That could use a little bit of work. Banjo here comes with a couple of extra hands and 2 accessories and an extra head. Oh, now this is interesting. The ball head mount is kind of like spiky. It's bumpy. I've never seen that before. Usually they're just smooth. Okay, let's see. There we go. Popped on pretty easy, all things considered. And let's give him everybody's favorite musical instrument. I don't know if it's because the plastic is just so thick and sturdy on his hands that I can't get it in there, or what, but I feel like if I kind of twist it into place as I'm used to doing with hands like this, that I might break this banjo. It feels a little flimsy.
I'm trying to transition to steel guitar.
That's frustrating. You feel like it's supposed to like slide into his hand there, and there just isn't quite enough give. Yikes, as I'm looking at this other accessory, his puzzle piece, this isn't great. We got some mist paint here on one edge of his golden shining puzzle piece. Other than that, it is a plastic, looks like it's designed to be a puzzle piece. It's painted one color and not entirely. I'm gonna give that a grade of like C-. Not a great accessory. This is our pile of fluff that came off of Banjo, his fur, as we were playing with him and unboxing him. And that is Banjo Kazooie from Premium DNA. And that is why you should always read the item description. Now that he's out of the box, he is actually not as big of a size difference as I thought. He's not quite double the size that you maybe want him to be. I don't know. He's like a Banjo times 2-y as opposed to a Banjo Kaiju. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.
Banjo Kazooie, a team so tight, battling Grimtilda day and night. A little bit larger than I thought they'd be, but a Banjo size 2-y is alright with me. They go Banjo Kablooie with a spinning attack. Yeah, they're out giving evildoer bottoms a smack. Puzzle pieces collected, missing some paint. Banjo Kazooie, please don't keep me in the taint. Mystical spells and realms to roam, searching for their way back home. A legendary giant of the N64, a Banjo Kaiju from the video store. Yeah, Banjo Kazooie, a friend of me and Yui. He's not some big kaiju, just a little bit size 2-y. Banjo and Kazooie acting kinda screwy, and if you only knew what a bear can do to Yui, well, let's just say you'd stop singing about Banjo Kazooie.